Hey, you guys. This was very unexpected because I didn't expect to have birthday books, like a lot of them, but I went to Barnes on a whim and got some new releases. And then also our book club, Enchanted Reads, or it's like a book group on Facebook. It's a bookish group. I always have it linked in the description. But I was gifted by a lot of people, and I know some of you guys are actually on here. So we're going to have a massive kind of book birthday haul, and I want to get this up soon. So my birthday was April 6th. I'm 33, and it was a decent birthday. My husband worked a double, but we went to dinner, took the baby, and my husband and I are actually going to have a date night tomorrow, just to unwind because life is crazy. So let's go ahead and get into all these books. I will do my best, if there's a note in the book, to tell the person thank you. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with this tall stack. So the first book we have is actually from an indie author. Her name is Brooke Marley Jones, and this is The Forest Where the Phoenix Sleeps. And she shares her book in a lot of our book clubs, and it's going to be a series. If you see, it actually says book 1. And this was gifted to me from Nessa. So thank you so much, Nessa. And next we actually have a Japanese fiction. And this book is probably the prettiest out of all of these. And actually, there's probably going to be a top 3 of the prettiest books. But let's go ahead and appreciate this, okay? Japanese fiction. I love Japanese, anything Japanese. Kelsey got me this, and I recommend everyone adding this to their wish list. It is actually very affordable for what it is, or what it entails. So it does have a reversible jacket. And then look at the cover. I usually read my books without the dust jacket, and this is just stunning. Love it. And even the art right there is beautiful, and in the back. So I haven't read this yet because it is new, but it seems like it has a lot of beautiful elements to it, and I've been wanting to read more Japanese fiction. I believe I have another one in these stacks, but I had to show this to you guys because I was like, what? I think this book was less than $20 on Amazon, and I mean, even for the full price, $30, if you see it at Barnes, it's worth it because it's just so beautiful. But it does teach you, I didn't mention this, but the back, it does teach you how to turn the dust jacket into a little boat, which I guess is very important in the story. And I really want to move this up my TBR. I've heard a lot of people enjoy Japanese fiction. So like I said, Water Moon, this is by Samantha Soto Yambao. I think that's how you say it. And Heather gifted me Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So this is just the box set that's on Amazon. I don't have all the books in my collection, but now I do. I do want to get like some of the collector editions of these series, but I just want to read them. That's my first priority with those. I did get this one gifted to me. This is The Enchanted Castle by E. Nesbit. I believe this author is from England, and this book was actually kind of hard to find. I don't know why it was so difficult. I believe they're from England or Scotland, but Jenny was able to gift it to me. This book is very hard to find, like I said. It's a very simple book, but I've heard it's an amazing read. So I'm very excited about reading this. I think it's just a fantasy, but that's all I know. And there are images in here. It might be a kid's book, but I've heard amazing reviews, like I said. So I try to find like UK books and stuff that people don't talk about in America because I want to talk about it and like get people excited and support these authors. But I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that for a while because supposedly Waterstones and Blackwells are not letting you buy their books because of things going on in America, if you didn't know that. Okay, so I found this at the thrift. This is Gregory Maguire's After Alice, and he's the one who wrote Wicked. And this dust jacket is very fun too. It's almost like a, what's this called? A parchment paper? I don't know what the proper term is. But there's like a map on the hardcover of the book, but it is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, and it just spoke to me. And I think I got this at Goodwill for $1.99. So that is a book I did buy for myself. And then we have this series that I want to start. Someone picked me up the first book. I believe this is a Midas Touch, I always say Midas Touch. Midas, who has the golden touch. This is his retelling. And I've had a lot of friends read these books, and I've heard amazing things. So this is by Raven Kennedy, and this series is, I mean, the books are just beautiful as well. But I like the hardcover design. Hopefully you guys can see that. But I like the hardcover design more, so I'd rather have this design than the paperback. So that's why we have the hardcover. And I have been reading some children's psychology books. My son will be 2 in August. It's flying by. But I bought, actually, from Barnes, I did buy No Drama Discipline. I'll pop that picture on the screen. And it's just about disciplining your child and gentle ways and keeping their emotions in mind and a lot of other things like that. So I will be starting that book soon, but I did get that at Barnes, but it's by my bed. And then I also, someone named Ashley, she gifted me Tiny Humans, Big Emotions, and How to Navigate Tantrums, Meltdowns, and Defiance to Raise Emotionally Intelligent Children. I just think it's just very, very, very important to discipline your children and like take in account their emotions. And these are actually written by psychologists, and I think it's just very, very important. So like I said, Ashley gifted this to me, and my neighbor is cutting their grass, so I'm very sorry if you hear that in the background. Okay, so we have We Are Okay. I have no idea, but this book was recommended on YouTube. I have a feeling it's going to be sad. It is a prize-winning book, but it seems like a very emotional book, and it does seem like an easy read. So I added it to my wish list, and someone gifted it to me. And who gifted this to me? Maybe it was Mindy. I think Mindy may have. No, it wasn't Mindy. I don't remember who gifted it, but I will put their name on the screen. So thank you so much. And this is from Tori. And this is the Hunger Games book. I cannot believe that we're talking about Hunger Games right now. Because I grew up with this book. I actually have the sprayed edge box set up there I can grab and show you guys, but I haven't opened it yet. But this is the last Hunger Games book. I'm unsure, but I would like to reread the books and then reread this. That's why I put it on my wish list. But I hope that they come out with the sprayed edge paperback for this one like the other ones, just so they match. But this is a new release, and I'm very excited. So thank you so much, Tori. Maybe that other book was from Tori. I don't remember. Oh, it messes with me. So both of these are from Mindy, and we have a thriller, which kind of changes it up. I do like thrillers. I do read them quite often. I have been reading a lot of romance for the month of April, but this book sounded really good. So this is That's Not My Name, and this is by Megan Lally. So I'm just interested to see how it is. And then we have Hideaway Heart. This is by Melanie Harlow, and she has a lot of the sprayed edge books coming out on Amazon. So thank you so much, Mindy, for gifting this to me. Melanie Harlow has been writing a lot of romances. I don't know if that's her niche, but I have a few of her books in my collection. And I actually received this book as an ARC, but I wanted to have it physically because Tilly Cole wrote, what book did she write? And of course, I'm going to forget the name of the book. 1,000 Boy Kisses. So this is one of her newer releases. And like I said, I've read the ARC, so I needed to have it physically in my library. And then we have a special edition, collector's edition of, actually this is the 10th anniversary edition of Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. This has been on my list for a bit since it released earlier this year. And I have not read this book actually, but I wanted to show you guys this edition. because it's not too expensive on Amazon if you're interested, or at Barnes or wherever your bookstore currently is. But this is what the edition looks like. And I don't know if there's anything special within. I like the font size in here. There's nothing special at the chapters, besides like a little bit of dates, but this edition is just beautiful. So I really wanted to add this to my wish list because it is so gorgeous, and I've heard amazing things about it. And I haven't really read any Kristin Hannah books, but I'm going to read this soon. So beautiful edition. So I went to Barnes one day. I was not having a good day. I had to do some nonprofit work after I had a bad morning. So I went to Dunkin' and used some of my gift cards, and then I was like, I'm just going to Barnes after I do some nonprofit work. So I went to Barnes after I did some work for the nonprofit, and it was like 5 minutes down the road, and then I got a lot of books, including some books for my son, but those are going to be his for Easter. If you ever want to see kids' books, let me know in the comments. But I picked up some books. Did I need books? No, I didn't need any books. So let's go ahead and go through these. A lot of these are Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. And the first one we have is Dating and Dragons. I did receive this as an ARC, but I get most of my ARCs sent to my Kindle. So I wanted it physically, and this is the Barnes exclusive. And the first book is Dungeons and Drama. I'll grab that real quick. So I've had Dungeons and Drama in my collection for a while. I'm actually reading it this month, but I had to pick up this edition. So now this is what they'll look like right by each other. And they just came out with the paperback of Lessons in Chemistry, and this is the Barnes exclusive. And I thought it was stunning. The lady at the register was like, do you want it? And I was like, I guess. So it's very shiny, very reflective, as you can tell. Everyone's like, why have you not read this book? I don't know. So now I have to read it because I have it. And you guys know I love Abby Jimenez, and I own most of her books. But she just had a book come out that is a start of a new series because I've read a lot of her series. So we have Say You'll Remember Me. This is the Barnes exclusive. I tried to get the autographed edition, but it has been sold out forever. So this was $2 off, and then I'm a premium member. I saved some money. And then we have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. And I think what makes it unique, I will show you guys. I don't think it's the outside being pink. I think it's this. Everything starts with you and ends with you. So that is, I think, what makes it unique. I've kind of gone through it and looked and tried to figure out what was so unique about it. But I really do like this. I really love Abby Jimenez, so I don't think the book will disappoint at all. This book was like on my list of why I needed to go to Barnes. So this book came out the day, I believe, that I went to Barnes. And the edition, you guys, is gorgeous. So this was $2 off as well. And this is The Sirens by Amelia Hart. I just spoke about Wayward being one of my favorite books that I've read this year. And that was her debut novel. So this is her second book. And you guys are not ready. You ready? Look at this. Look at all the sea creatures and stuff. It is just absolutely gorgeous. I feel like it's going to match the vibe of the book, I'm sure. And I love how simple her books are. Wayward had a couple of little creatures on here, but I love the colors and the vibes of her book. So I'm very excited to read about the sirens, and I have high expectations for this book. So this was one of the reasons why I went to Barnes. Another one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Barnes is because of this book, because of how it looks. I have not read Lightlark. I have it in my collection, but this book cover and the sprayed edges of this book are absolutely stunning. She made so many different editions that I'm sure people have purchased all of the editions of this book, but the sprayed edge has taxis all around it. And Summer in the City, I don't know if I said the name of the book. This is the Barnes exclusive. There is a Target exclusive, I think a Walmart exclusive. There's probably another exclusive. So what makes this one unique, and I think the Target one is the same. So whenever you open this book with the map, there is Barnes on here. And next to Barnes is this exclusive edition right next to it. So you guys can see. So the Target one has the same, and the cover of this with the heart is unique as well. I don't know what's in the back. Okay, the same thing, the same map. So I guess all these places in here are important to the book. I do like that there's Barnes, because like I do like Target, but I like bookstores more. So I was happy to see that Barnes was in here. So if you guys want to see all the other editions, just make sure to, you can look it up on her Instagram, I'm sure. But I had to get this book, and I loved the taxis. I think that was like my favorite part, because the book is called Summer in the City. And I loved Little Barnes map. So that is the last book. So that is my birthday book haul. I'm probably going to be receiving more mail from people. I think a few people sent me some other things. So if you guys want to see that, just let me know down below. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you guys next time.